What's up, YouTube? It's your boy CM Drake with Wise Guy Sports Talk, along with my co-host.
Sports guy who?
All right, and hey, this is a brand new channel. I want to thank you guys for tuning in with us as we get into the late parts of the NFL season. Week 16, got a lot of slates on the menu. We're gonna break some stuff down. We're gonna, again, talk some sports, go over some players to watch, and even round it out. We're picking a lineup of our own. Have a little friendly, gentlemen's competition. What do you say, man? Uh,
No, that's definitely what we're trying to do, man. Just trying to just kick back, have fun, go ahead and let's talk about football. Week 16 is upon us. Phenomenal session, phenomenal games going on. You talking about you got some blood rivalry, if you want to call it, that's been brewing over the last few weeks between the Bills and the Patriots. Then you also be talking about that's from what happened a few weeks ago with Gronk dropping people's elbow on Tredavian. And even though he's saying that nothing's gonna no retaliation, you gotta feel that, you know, the Bills are gonna come to Foxborough just a little bit more hungry because they wanna go ahead and just take care of their own. You know, because
take care.
Gronk put this guy in concussions out for a game, stuff like that.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Gronk? He's from the Buffalo area, is he not? I think they said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that is actually pretty weird because he's from that area. He grew up in the Buffalo area, so it's gonna be interesting how they're gonna treat him when you talk about he's from that area. I'm sure he grew up rooting for the Buffalo Bills,
Mm,
So and now to be part of the hateful rivalry of the Patriots, it should be an interesting game.
yeah,
Um, Definitely interesting at all.
like a reverse homecoming. Anyway, all
Yes,
right.
yes, it would definitely won't be a pleasant homecoming.
Oh, okay.
Definitely won't be that. They talking about you got the NFC South, which by far, in my opinion, is one of the best divisions out there. You're talking about where you have three teams possibly can win a division, and all three teams is vying for a playoff spot. You're talking about the Falcons, the Saints, and Carolina. The Falcons and Saints play this weekend down in New Orleans. Um, the last time they played, it was a great game for fans. It was at Pick Atlanta. Even though Drew Brees threw a costly interception at the goal line with just seconds left. Phenomenal game for fantasy players, and then you got Carolina playing the Bucks. The Bucks this past weekend just show us that they still got some kind of life to where Evans finally woke up, even though it's been inconsistent his whole fantasy year, which I didn't pick him in any of my fantasy teams. Unfortunately, I took him out because of his inconsistency. Kind of cost me. And then I called last week with you when I said to you, out of all the four quarterbacks playing on Sunday, I feel that Jameis Winston is going to have the better day out of everybody. And you told me, no, he's not.
I
And I kind of told you because the last few weeks,
yeah,
what?
completely shut him down. I was not gonna give him a second date. Nothing. I was all in with Dak Prescott, and I believe he had the worst of the four
Yes, he
quarters.
did.
I mean, dude, it was a complete cluster junk. But okay. So, but moving on to this week, I mean, we got a couple slates to talk about. We got Saturday for the second week in
Mm-hmm.
a row. We got the plethora of games for Monday, and then to
Yeah.
round it out with Christmas Day. I'm sorry, Sunday, and then to round it out Christmas Day Monday with some explosive games, possibly. Well, I don't know. It could be either one sided or not. I mean, there are a lot of key players missing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it just kind of opens the door for some other non kind of um, home household names to kind of show out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's a good place to start at because let's just elephant in the room. Antonio Brown. I mean, let's not even try to even go anywhere else but start there because Antonio Brown is a major piece of not only his team and for the page for the Pittsburgh, but also fantasy owners. This week we do have a lot of year-long fantasy Super Bowls going on, as we call the final championship games. And I'm sure that those folks that's in the championship that had Antonio Brown was banking on him showing up big. Even last weekend, I had him in my lineup. I thought he was going to go ahead and have a big game, but unfortunately he got hurt. And now he's out for the remainder of the year. hopefully be back for the playoffs to go ahead and go on a run for them. But that's a big chunk. The great is a good and a bad. The bad is the fact that you don't have somebody that you know is going to get you between 20 to maybe 40 points at any moment, any game. The good is now you could actually stretch your money out a little further because Antonio Brown cost me $10,000, and you're going to go with the killer bees. Ben, Le'Veon, and Brown, you know me go with.
So
Both
for those year-long leagues, who would you put in place of Antonio Brown now?
If they're on the waiver wire still, man, it's a tough one. I mean, right now you got to figure that Judas Smith-Schuster is going to be up there, but is he? The question is how many leagues is he going to be out there still with? Probably none. I mean, I could say probably none. And if there are leagues that he's listed open on, if you're listening to this podcast, pick him up now. You know, don't wait. I don't care who you have, pick him up because Montavious Bryant, last one when I saw earlier today, he was still out there in a lot of leagues. He's still available, so I would definitely pick him up. Just because I think that after watching this past weekend where the Pittsburgh was playing New England, they featured Montavious Bryant. He's a matchup nightmare. Before he got suspended, before he had his issues, he was a matchup nightmare. You know, he was Julio Jones up and coming, where the size, the speed, and you're talking about cornerbacks just couldn't stay with him. You can't put a cornerback on him; he's not big enough. You can't put a safety on him; he's not fast enough. And you damn sure can't put a linebacker on him. A linebacker is just not fast enough to even defend this guy. And so he was a matchup nightmare. He could stretch the field. He's not Antonio Brown. We get it. He's not Antonio Brown. We're not trying to say that he's going to go ahead and replace Antonio Brown. You ask the questions, who you put in place of him just to make it. I think that Antonio Brown production is going to be a group of players. It's not going to be one. But I do feel Le'Veon Bell this weekend is going to have a huge game. Just because they know Brown is not there. They don't lead on their workhorse. He leads the league in rushing. You know, he leads the league in rushing. So I think Pittsburgh's trying to give him that. He's up there with other guys like Kamara, even Kareem Hunt with scrimmage yardage. So I think they're going to lean heavily on Bell. So I think it's going to be a combination of Bell, Martavis Bryant, and Juju. Like I said, if you do have any of those players in lineup or if they're available, I know for a fact Bell is not available anywhere. Martavis Bryant still could be available if you could pick him up, but I doubt you can right now. You just got to roll what you have, but not having Antonio Brown's a huge loss. And I know we spent a little time on this, but he's such an impactful player that you got to spend time on him. You got to give him his own segment. You know, you got to give him his own segment.
Basically. But you know, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this whole production. Okay,
Yeah,
there's $50,000 up for grab.
Yes, it is.
Just Sunday. I think even they dumb it down for Saturday too. I think it's only down to no, because they got the other $8 lineup.
$8 lineups, yeah.
So
and the $8 lineup as well.
I believe it's still $100K. At the very minimum, they probably dumbed it down to $50K. But man, unless you're in some established year-long league, I mean, we're talking a lot more money when dealing with the daily fantasy football.
Yeah.
So, and you know, and that's what we're going to kind of key in on here. So.
All right.
Real
quick. I know you're talking about, but DraftKings got an $8 game. All right, $1.5 million up for grab. First place, $100K.
Oh, so it is $100K. Okay, I didn't know.
$100K down to $50. $100K for the Sunday game. Sunday game. Yeah, they got an $8 entry, classic style. $1.5 million. Santa's 8 reindeers special.
Okay, so $100K for the $8, $50K for the $3, and then on Saturday, do you remember what Saturday is? The 2 game is it
Saturday?
$100K. I forget.
I kind of forget as well what Saturday. But if I'm not, I think it's $50K for Saturday. I think it's $50K for Saturday. Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. So
here we go. Saturday's game. Yes. So Saturday only games. There is there is a Saturday only game with a man that's up for grab, 100K first place, $8. And
Okay.
the $3 game, there's a few $3 games out there. You got a 125 game, which we won't feature talk about too much, but pretty much it's the $8 game for
Yeah.
Saturday. That's meat and potatoes.
Okay. All right. So players to watch. Now, this is gonna cover all slates. We don't have to get into any particular day game for this weekend. Just the weekend in general. Okay. So we'll
Yeah.
start with you. Players to watch. QBs. Give me two of them. What you got?
For me, last week I caught this as well with you. I'm going Cam. I feel that Cam Newton is starting to come in his own. I feel like Cam Newton is over those injuries. I feel Cam is going to have a big week. He's had 12 total touchdown in the last 4 games. That means he's slinging the ball around, whether it's running the ball, whether it's passing the ball. In the last 4 games, he's definitely doing that. Also, he's also doing that span, averaging 27.4 fantasy points in those 4 games. After last week, he had 31.5 fantasy points. He's going up against a Tampa Bay defense that, as we saw last week, is going to give up some fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. All right. So I do feel that I'm rolling with this weekend with Cam Newton.
Yeah,
Next,
I think
I'm
the
going to go, huh?
no, I'm saying I think the over under on that one is like 46 and a half points. So somebody's got to be scoring
Yeah.
those points. you know,
Yeah,
we'll see.
and
We'll see.
yes, somebody definitely got to score those points, man.
So who's your number two?
Case Keenum. Uh, Case Keenum has a resurgence in his career. Last year, it's funny you say it, but last year, 2 quarterbacks that were on the Rams looked like straight garbage. Number 1 pick overall, Jared Goff, looked like he was the biggest bust since Ryan Leaf. Case Keenum looked like he wasn't worth the jersey, on the back of some backup quarterbacks. But this year is funny, but both quarterbacks has emerged as MVP candidates. Not saying they're going to win, but MVP candidates. They've carried their teams. But the real reason why I pick Case Keenum is because he's going up against Green Bay. Ever since the Week 8 bye that Green Bay had, every single quarterback besides Joe Flacco has had over 15 plus fantasy points against them. They've allowed 20 plus fantasy points against quarterback within that span. You know what I mean? So the only quarterback that hasn't had it was like what drug it down was Joe Flacco. But meanwhile, you're talking about Case Keenum has thrown multiple touchdown passes in 4 straight games. So that alone, with those numbers along with Green Bay's defense, I just feel that him would be my second quarterback to be picked. So now the question is, who are your number two quarterbacks you're going with? I think we may defer here.
Okay, well, you know what? I've learned from the errors of my ways, and because this is a situational uh,
Mm-hmm.
league, well, kind of game that we're playing with fantasy, I will have to piggyback off you with Cam Newton. All right, so Cam Newton is one of my
Okay,
guys.
nice.
I would have to go with him, but for a few different reasons. You meant you briefly elaborated on uh, the run um, and the vulnerability of uh, Tampa Bay. Um,
Yeah.
legs. Cam Newton's legs. Okay, he's been using them. He's got damn near more rushing yards than his whole backfield. I mean, the man's legs is what's going to get him in the end zone and ultimately
Mm-hmm.
atop of the division. So I have to go with Cam. I mean, the obvious matchup is to me a no brainer there. Tampa Bay just gives up too much to the opposing teams in many facets of the game. So, like I said, with the over under being what it is, I think it's going to be a pretty one-sided game.
Yeah.
Whatever Tampa Bay did, well, let's go take a trip down memory lane, shall we? That Atlanta,
Yeah.
obviously Tampa Bay lost, but they had more production fantasy point wise than
Yeah.
the at least the receiving core of Atlanta. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But because we're talking about Sunday, 13
Hmm.
games on the slate, 18
Yeah.
points, not going to help you out there. Uh, 15, 16 points, not going to help you out there for your number one and number two option receivers. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with I'm not I'm not so sure about the passing game with Carolina, but I'm putting
Yeah.
all my marbles on Cam Newton's legs and the legs of
Okay.
McCaffrey. Okay. And I think these are the guys that are going to stand out, or at least help my quarterback get to where he needs to be come Sunday.
Okay. Sweet. So who's your other guy now? Let's hear that. Who's your other guy?
Uh, you know what? I have to say, and he burned me last week. Oh, did he burn me last week? But you know what? You got to have a short memory in football. It's always the next play, the next week. Philip
Yeah.
Rivers. Philip Rivers. Okay.
Ooh.
Philip Rivers. Now,
Ooh.
to me, this is a 50-50 game. 50-50. There's a 50-50 chance he airs it out to Keenan Allen. There's a 50-50 chance he gives the ball to Melvin Gordon. 50-50. So, but
Yeah.
either way, I will have one of my lineups definitely set with um, uh, Philip Rivers versus the
Okay.
Jets
Okay.
to show out with through the air with Keenan Allen. Hunter
Hmm.
Henry is on IR, so
Yeah.
Antonio Gates. Or you know what? I take it back. There's so many weapons on the offensive side of the Chargers. Williams,
Yeah.
Gates may have one of those. Oh my God, I didn't see it coming kind of games.
Yeah.
Hunter's
I
out,
believe that.
so he has so many options to throw the ball against the Jets. Oh yeah, I'm going with I'm betting the farm on Philip Rivers.
Well, I'm gonna interject right there. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. I actually had Philip Rivers as on my short list of quarterbacks. I did have a number 3 quarterback. What I would say is this: to those guys that like yourself had him last week, you got burnt. Straight up and down, you got burnt. Um, and the crazy part about it, in a year-long fantasy league, 54% of the league had him. Which means that some people were in playoffs last week and they got burned. But if you survived it, congratulations on that. I mean, personally, I believe that Philip is going to have a bounce back week this week. I just think of a bounce back week. But remember, last week he was playing on a short week against arguably one of the best place to play at if you're a home team, one of the worst places to play if you're a road team, which is Arrowhead. I mean, the Chiefs, I don't care what their record says, when they play at home, they go to another notch. So I think that he's going to a bounce back week. And let's get it. Against the Chiefs, he struggles. He normally struggles against the Chiefs. He's only averaging 8.7 fantasy points against his team. He doesn't play well against them. I mean, in the NFL, there's just some teams just no matter what they do, they have it. I mean, even Tom Brady has that. Teams just don't play well against. Regardless of. But I do feel, because like you said before, he's facing the Jets. That allows the 5th most points this season against quarterback. Me personally, I'm with you. Both people I'm not going to disagree with. I like Philip Rivers. I'm going Philip Rivers in a couple of my lineups as well.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's just slide down to the RBs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
RBs. Who you rolling
yeah.
with? Give me
So,
three. Give me three. Count
all
them.
right. The
One,
obvious,
two,
I
three.
mean, I'm not going to give you the obvious, which is, of course, Le'Veon Bell. I mean, can you go wrong without Le'Veon Bell? But before we go there, I just got to make sure everybody right now on YouTube understands this, and you are tuning to the Wise Guy Sports with your boy, sports guy who, and CM Drake. Continue to support us. This is our first official teamed up podcast here, so which we're going to be doing more frequently. But Matt Ryan,
Are we doing
I
honorable
do
mentions
feel
now?
that,
Is that what we doing? Honorable mentions?
huh?
Really? We're doing honorable
Honorable
mentions?
mention.
Really?
He's not my honorable mention. He's not my honorable mention. If you let me finish, this is where I'm going with it. Just let me finish. I know you like Matt Ryan. You're a Matt Ryan fan. I know you're a Matt Ryan apologist, but I will say this: if you have Matt Ryan on your fantasy team this year, you didn't win because of him. You win in spite of him. This guy literally has not had a good year after winning the MVP last year. I thought for sure this year that came out had a good year. He's put him duds. All right. Just like you're off the bandwagon of certain players, he's been X'd off of mine. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Do not put Matt Ryan in your lineup if you have a choice, because he's not gonna give you like rightfully said, you have a lot of games this weekend. Make sure you pick wise because he may cost you $100K. $100K.
Oh yeah,
That's what he may cost you. I said.
Oh, okay, so I guess that wasn't an honorable mention. That was a do not cross. All right, I'll do
I
one
mean,
better.
he's going 4 straight games without touchdowns. He's going 4 straight games without it. So I mean, and when he's going up against the Saints, who is pretty good, and just like he did in Week 14, when he only put up 6.8 points against the Saints, I think it's going to be the same thing again this week. I don't think that he's going to put up that much points. Let's not forget, he was playing at home when it happened. Now he go down to Houday territory, New Orleans. I just don't see him doing anything better. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I do see him doing better. He may get 10 points. But is that going to get you 10K when we just both said Cam Newton is going to have between 20 to 40 points possibly?
Okay.
So choose wisely. But all right,
I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. I'm gonna put my 2 cents in.
Okay.
My do not go, do not cross, do not proceed. Mariota.
For quarterbacks.
I'm Marcus Mariota.
Yes.
Marcus Mariota. One. I would have to say that. I mean, they got the Rams. They're playing at home, but it's not going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter. So.
So far, we haven't disagreed. I agree with you. Mariota has not played well. I do feel he's regressed this year. I do feel that end of the year to have a new coach because I think that his regression. This was the year Mariota was supposed to be the next coming of somebody.
But how can you when you have no receivers? You don't have no receivers.
How can you?
None. I mean, right? You don't have any receivers. None whatsoever. So I don't see how anyone could ever even bought a ticket to that train ride, because all it ended up was a train wreck. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I agree with you on that. So I agree with you on that. I don't have much to add. But the only thing I would say is that the one running back that I'm feeling that I'm really, really liking is Dion Lewis. With no Rex Burkhead, and like I said before, Rex Burkhead is not playing this weekend. So far, to calm down, he has an injury due to injury, but he's not playing. Dion Lewis, I feel, is going to come through. He should get the bulk of the carries against the Buffalo. Now, Buffalo during the past 6 weeks have given up 4.8 yards per carry to opposing running back, which is now second in the league over that span, and 10 rushing touchdowns to RBs. More than any of the team. Now, I don't know what's going on in Buffalo with the whole quarterback situation going. 1 week they want Tyrod Taylor, next one Nathan Peterman. I kind of feel that has definitely made the team a little gimpy. But my running back outside of Le'Veon Bell was the obvious choice, which is obvious. I mean, let's not act like he's not out there. But I'm not gonna go with the easy choice of picking him because he's like I said, he's in a whole other category is him. Another one that is a dominant rough, which you may or may not agree with, is Alex Collins. Yes, he had a tough week last week, but I kind of expect him to bounce back. I mean, we've read him off before. We picked him one time before. Next thing we know, he came in the following week and had a big game, and we both didn't pick him. So I do feel that he's going to go ahead and have a bounce back game against a Colts team that's given up 21.5 points against running backs, dude. I mean, come on. I mean, 21.5 points against running back in 4 straight games, that's just unheard of, man. You can't give it that much points, especially a team that can't pass the ball worth a lick in the Ravens. So they're going to rely heavily upon a run.
They're -1.
Yeah, Macklin is not playing. You're right, Macklin is not playing. So I do feel that Alex Collins is going to get the bulk of the carries and do his thing. And I'm gonna give you a little treat. You say, I know you asked for three, but with this team, two running backs equals one, and that's Latavius Murray and Jarrett McKinney. Those two running backs I do feel this weekend are going to have a big game against that Green Bay defense. I mean, come on. I mean, the Vikings are rolling. They're playing for something. They're trying to get home field advantage toward the NFC playoffs. So they're going to be playing hard. They're going to go ahead and have a big game. They're not going to take their foot off. And if I'm not mistaken, they are playing at home. If I'm not mistaken, actually, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. They're playing in Green Bay, but that doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter where they're playing at. I do feel that those two are gonna go off and have phenomenal games. All right. But with that being said, Mr. Drake, what do you have? Hit me with something here. Hit the
I
post with something.
got a damn Christmas surprise for your stocking. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. What jersey is that behind you? What jersey is that? That's a Giants jersey.
The Giants jersey.
Giants
The
jersey.
good old
Giants
Giants with
jersey.
Eli Manning.
Okay.
Eli Manning, as you can see here, Eli Manning.
Okay.
I'm a Manning fan. That's what I'm running with. Is with Eli.
Okay. Okay. Well, I am in Texas, and you done a sacrilege by not even considering Zeke Elliott is off suspension, buddy. Oh my gosh, yo! I swear the fire and brimstone is coming, bro. Ezekiel Elliott is back.
I hear you on. I hear you on.
Mm,
I mean, he can be back all he wants. He can be back all he wants. Listen, I'm a Giants
what?
fan. There's no way I can pick a damn Cowboy.
What?
I can't pick a Cowboy. I can't pick a Cowboy. I'm a Giants fan. I mean, he's coming back. I get it. He's coming back to a big game, but I do feel Seattle is going to play for pride. Me personally, I do feel play for pride. You've been out for 6 weeks. Now, let's not forget, your left tackle is not playing. I don't feel that Tyron Smith is going to play. So I do feel that with Zeke coming back, great. You haven't played in 6 weeks. But Seattle got embarrassed last week. They're going to play for pride. I understand not the same defense from a few years ago, but I do feel that this team, Pete Carroll, is going to have his team up to it. And Zeke hasn't played for 6 weeks. This is the NFL. This isn't the college. This isn't backyard football. You can't just be up for 6 weeks, come back, and do some crazy. Now, if he does, great, because we saw what Adrian Peterson did a couple years ago when everybody doubted him coming back with ACL injury. So if VZ come back in a big game, I wouldn't be surprised by it, but I'm not going to count on it.
Oh, well.
That's why I didn't pick.
Well, that's why he's my pick. Okay, so for all you guys in YouTube land that did not know this, Zeke Elliott is off suspension. Yes. So no more. Well, why didn't he throw to Des Bryant? Who cares? I don't even care. Des Bryant is his stock done plummet. Zeke Elliott is back. Enough said. Close the door. Move on. Boom. That's my number one.
Yeah.
Number two,
yeah.
I kind of alluded to this earlier. It's a 50-50. Melvin Gordon. Okay. Every time I doubted this man, he's proved me wrong.
He has.
The Jets. Jet. Jets. I'm gonna be rooting for the. Man. Listen, that should be like they don't even need to throw the ball to Keenan Allen if they don't want to. Just hand the ball off to Melvin Gordon. Enough said. Okay. Now there are a lot of top guys. I'm gonna take it down a notch. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna go on the flip side of your boy Collins, Darvavius Allen. Okay.
Oh wow.
He's not a between the tackles guy, but if he gets that screen or that 5-yard dunk, dude, the man goes off. So I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate and go on the other side of your Alex Collins pick.
Yeah.
Wide receivers. Who you like? Give me three.
Wide receivers are so okay. This is where it's becoming a little bit more winnable. All right. First, I'm gonna start with the guy that I wrote off last week. I had him in my lineups, as you know, I had him on my lineups, and I decided to take him out. And that will be Mr. Mike Evans, Mr. Inconsistency. You know, let's be honest. It's been tough. It's up and down the down year for all of us that just pick Evans, who's supposed to be our number one wide receiver. But against the Panthers, he's been averaging 16.5 fantasy points in the last 3 meetings. And we both know it, and we've had a conversation about it. We've noticed that Carolina does give up the 10th most fantasy points in the last 4 games against wide receivers. So I'm going with Mike Evans. My second guy is gonna be Larry Fitzgerald. Let's not listen. I'm a Giants fan, diehard Giants fan, but it is what it is. The Giants sucks. Okay, they suck. They suck this year. The defense is tired because the offense is not doing anything, and I kind of feel that Larry Fitzgerald is going to have a big game. You know, he's going to have a big game with banged up defense, a banged up secondary. I feel he's going to have a big game. As I mentioned before, you asked me earlier about who could take Antonio Bryant's spot. I do feel Judas Smith-Schuster and Martavis Bryant are going to fill that void and fill the gap that Antonio Brown left together, not separately, but together, fill that gap. So those are my three combination of. I know they were running back as well, but I'm going with Mike Evans, Larry Fitzgerald, Judas Smith-Schuster in a combination with Martavis Bryant. Because now you have the money because now Antonio Brown is not there.
Gotcha. Well, I'm gonna go a different direction. Definitely. So I'll start mine out with I would have to say Michael Thomas. Again,
Okay.
you know,
Good pick.
I would go with Michael Thomas. I mean, you got the 1-2 punch of Ingram and Kamara. They're healthy. They're good to go right now. But you got to throw it to somebody. So Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
Got to go back to the JET Jets. I'm done with Rob Allen. I'm done with Robbie over there and those guys with the quarterback situation. Got to go on the other side of the ball. Keenan Allen against the Jets.
Okay.
Keenan Allen against the Jets. So I'm covering all my bases, if you can tell. Got the quarterback, got the running back, now I got the receiver. I'm covering all my bases. And number 3, because of the god awful pass defense that the Titans have, I'm gonna do you one better. Woods and Cooper Cup.
Cooper Cup.
Yeah. So I got to go with the 1-2 punch of the Rams wide receivers versus that Tennessee defense. Oh my God! I mean, you know, that's enough said with that. I mean, it's they've given up so much. They're gonna even give up more against the Rams because they let her throw the ball. They let her throw the ball. Give me one tight end. One.
Man. All right. So, man, tight ends, it's been pretty rough because we got a lot of injuries. And like I said, me personally, I don't want to go to obvious. I don't want to give guys advice on obvious guys. We're here to give them diamond in the roughs. We're not here to give you the Gronks, the easy Gronks. It's easy to go Gronk. Because I do feel Gronk's having a big game this weekend, but he's easy. So for tight end wise, I'm gonna go with Jimmy Graham. With Doug Baldwin not really producing as he did early in the year, and it's I'm not gonna call him Mr. Inconsistency. I'll just say he's been inconsistent. Also with the fragile line that Russ Wilson is playing behind us, where he's damn near running for his life. His outlet is always going to be and has always been Jimmy Graham. So I think Jimmy Graham is going to have a huge weekend this weekend against the Cowboys, because guess what? The Cowboys has given up more than 16 points when Travis Kelce played them, Austin Hooper, and Hunter Henry played them. So I do feel that this weekend we're gonna go ahead and see Jimmy Graham reemerge himself. But I'm gonna give you one more. I only said one, but real quick, Jake Doyle. keep an eye on him. He's gonna put good numbers as well. If you don't have, if Jimmy Graham's too expensive, Jake Doyle is another good pick as well. Who you got, man?
I'm surprised you didn't go with Shepard. I mean, not Shepard. Ingram over in New
Ingram?
York. I'm surprised.
No, don't be surprised by that. Just because the last 2 weeks he has not put up those numbers that he's put up when he was a hot commodity coming up. He's regressed a little bit. Teams have figured him out. Teams where the Giants, the only person Giants that they have is him. So no, I'm gonna go to the shorthand. Like I said, Jimmy Graham and Jake Doyle. Keep on Jake Doyle. If you don't have the money for Jimmy Graham, I'll go with Jake Doyle as another good pick.
Okay. Well, I'll back this up. He's not easy like a Grunkster or Kelsey, but man, his price tag looks pretty good for the amount of production you may get, and that's going to be Mr. Greg Olsen. Got to stack him with Cam Newton. Mr. Greg Olsen, great matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at, under 6K. Dude, probably the best top knot or top 5 tight end to get under 6K. I'm pretty sure the Kelseys, the Grunks, they're obviously up in the 7K mark, and for all intents and purposes. So I have to do that. I probably won't give a honorable mention this time around. I don't think it's necessary. Not at all.
No, and I hope everyone realized that we're not picking the obvious people trying to get down in the rough. We're not picking the, for example, running backs. I didn't pick Todd Gurley. Didn't pick Ingram. Those are obvious people. We're gonna go. There's we're here to find diamond in the roughs. The guys that look that are those diamond. So of course, quarterback. There's no such thing as diamond in the rough. Because every quarterback is important. So, but. I hope you guys understand that we're not just picking. We didn't forget about the big dogs. We didn't forget about them. We're just trying to get you dominant in the roughs.
Yeah. Or even some of the guys. When you sort that lineup by the most fantasy points. I mean, Eric Gordon may not be in the top 3, but I mean, and his price tag has been pretty good for what he has done. I just don't think a lot of people are just sold on him. Maybe it's his size, or what have you. But man, he comes out every week when given the opportunity, and he produces. All right, so I'll tell you what. Let's round out this segment with building a lineup. Okay, we'll have a little gentleman's bet. See whose lineup accumulates the most fantasy points. And we'll give we'll recap this at the beginning of our next segment on Friday. So what do you have going?
This is for the Sunday game, the early afternoon game. There's 12 games. So quarterback, like I said in our earlier segment, Cam Newton. I'm riding with Cam Newton. He's going to be in pretty much the majority of my lineups this weekend. Cam Newton. Running back wise, Isaiah Cromwell. I think Isaiah Cromwell is going to have a decent game. I don't think Duke Johnson over there with the Browns or but I think that he's going to get his touches. Running back, my second running back, my first running back I said would be Todd Gurley. What he did to Seattle last week, didn't realize I have to go with Todd Gurley. Just got him. So I'm going Todd Gurley. Wide receivers, I took my lineup last week, but I'm going with Mike Evans. All right. And a pick of mine that I like, that, I've been riding with this guy this whole time. I think of a breakout game this weekend. Last year, the Browns won their only game Christmas weekend. And I feel like this weekend, Josh Gordon is going to break out a game. Then my other receiver, my receiving core is Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry's going to have a phenomenal game this weekend. In tight end, I mentioned in our earlier segment, Jimmy Graham. And the dark horse, because Jaton Jackson being out, Adam Humphries. I feel Humphries had a big game this past Sunday. I think they have another big game this weekend. And my defense is going to be the Panthers. I feel the Panthers defense is going to put some points against James Winston. James Winston don't some turnovers, but I do feel that Panthers are going to do some things. So Cam Newton, Isaiah Cromwell, Todd Gurley, Mike Evans, Josh Gordon, Jarvis Landry, Jimmy Graham, Adam Humphries and the Panthers defense. That's what I got. Try topping that, buddy.
Okay. And you know, this covers Sunday, right?
Just Sunday, yeah, just Sunday.
All right. I'm going a little direction, a little different direction. Okay. I'm gonna start my
Okay, let's hear
quarterback.
it.
My quarterback, Phillip Rivers. Got him.
Okay, all right. Not
Got
a
him.
bad pick.
Got him stacked with Keenan Allen. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, Kendall Wright. I don't particularly.
Okay.
I'm not excited about that pick, but this was budget wise. It was a budget decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's constraints.
Yeah. Uh, Tyreek Hill. Man,
Wow.
Tyreek
Hey,
Hill.
good pick. Good pick.
We ain't
Good
talking
pick.
about him all
Good
night.
pick.
Tyreek Hill.
No, we haven't. We have not.
Now this was possible because I'm going with a double tight end set. Okay, so I'm going with,
Oh, you are? Okay.
yes I
Okay.
am, Greg Olsen, and in the flex
Okay.
spot I got Antonio Gates. You know, Hunter Henry, he's out for the rest of the year. Antonio Gates again. I'm going with Phillip Rivers anyway, so I'm basically stacking them with receiver and tight end combo. Running backs,
Okay.
and this is why I think I take the cake. Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. Oh yes.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay. So I see what you did. You kind of saved some money. You saved some money with the flex position. I thought about doing the same thing, but I decided to just kind of spread it around to where, but I like it. I like it. Now the Antonio Gates pick, I'm not too fond of. Not too. I don't know, but maybe this is back in 2009 and Philip Rivers
Well, I mean, think about
and
it
Gates
though.
gonna reconnect.
Think about it. That is definitely a possibility. You got to have a short memory in this game. I mean, you can't based off of what's been happening before with different personnel now. Um, so
Okay, I
he's back
understand.
up. Literally, he's the starting tight end on that team right now. So, and hey, their matchup doesn't hurt either. Jets. Yeah. So,
Jets. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. But like I said, erase a lineup. I'm cool with. I like it, and I like the fact that even double tight end save some money. I decided to put my own minds in the big wigs, and make a sacrifice with Humphreys. But Humphreys did come through this past Monday night when Jackson went down. So yeah, I mean it definitely that does sound good. I was better than mine. I don't feel better than mine. I do feel my quarterback and running backs are gonna produce a little better than more than yours, but I can't put it past McCaffrey and can't put it past.
I mean, only real person I'm not really going with is Cam Newton, and I'll probably have to sub him in another lineup. I was able to squeeze in the Carolina defense in here, so that's even
Yeah,
better.
nice.
Okay. All right, my friend. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for Week 16's little podcast we got going here. Thank you, YouTube, for tuning in. Again, there were little technical difficulties, but this is our first official broadcast show. So again, I want to thank my my co-host here, sports guy who for helping out with the production. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so stay tuned. We will be back on Friday for week 17. We'll recap 16, see who won this gentleman's bet, and get right into week 17 for the last official week of the regular season. Um, and I think that's going to do it for us, folks. What do you say? So
All
long,
right, folks.
folks.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning in, sports guy. You know who? We definitely thank y'all for tuning in, man. But see you next week, man. Hope good luck this weekend in championship game. Good luck. Hopefully, one of you guys win 100K. If I win 100K, you won't see me here next week, guys. But peace.
All right, this is Wise Guys Sports Talk. Thank you, YouTube land, and peace out.